Big story that we are tracking at the moment. The Twisha Sharma death case is witnessing dramatic developments by the hour, with the Madhya Pradesh High Court now ordering a second post-mortem by an expert team from Delhi AIIMS, even as the investigation is set to be handed over to the CBI. In a major order, the High Court allowed the plea filed by Twisha Sharma's parents seeking a second autopsy. Now, the court directed the director of AIIMS Delhi to constitute an expert medical team that will travel to Bhopal and conduct the post-mortem at the earliest. The entire procedure will be videographed and the videography will form part of the official post-mortem report. The bench also directed state authorities to preserve Twisha Sharma's body at AIIMS Bhopal under controlled conditions, including preservation at -80 degrees Celsius until the second autopsy is completed. Meanwhile, the accused family argued that Twisha Sharma's body should be handed over to them, claiming that they had the right to conduct the final rites as she was their daughter-in-law. However, the court prioritized preservation of the body and completion of the second autopsy before any further decision on last rites. On the other hand, senior advocate Giribala Singh, appearing for accused Samarth Singh, withdrew Samarth's anticipatory bail plea before the High Court and sought permission for him to surrender before the trial court. The court allowed the withdrawal and said that the trial court could decide his regular bail plea. Meanwhile, the High Court has also taken up the state government's challenge against anticipatory bail granted to retired Judge Giribala Singh, the mother-in-law of Twisha Sharma. The Advocate General told the court that there is a legal presumption of dowry death and referred to statements in the case diary regarding alleged dowry demands by the husband and mother-in-law. The matter will now be heard again on May 25th. Twisha Sharma, a 33-year-old model-turned-actor, was found dead at her in-laws' residence in Bhopal earlier this month, and the case has since triggered massive public attention, legal scrutiny and allegations of dowry harassment.
हमें ये अपडेट मिला है कि PM2 की जो हमारी रिक्वेस्ट थी वो एक्सेप्ट की गई है एंड अभी इसमें थोड़ा ये भी है कि एम्स दिल्ली से शायद से एक टीम आने वाली है एम्स भोपाल में, तो अभी इट इज़ येट टू बी कंफर्म कि कैसे इसकी प्रक्रिया अभी होने वाली है, बट आर प्ली हैज़ बिन एक्सेप्टेड।
समर्थ सिंह ने जो अग्रिम जमानत डाली थी उसको भी शायद वापस ले लिया है, इसमें क्या आपका डिस्प्यूट करना है?
इसका अभी तक मुझे खबर नहीं है, इसमें आई एम येट टू कंफर्म इट, तो अभी मैं इस पर कमेंट कर पाऊंगा इसमें कुछ।
बात इसमें ये भी निकल कर सामने आ रही है कि वो शायद अब जाकर वो सरेंडर भी करेंगे।
जी बिल्कुल, पहले ही करना चाहिए था ना, इफ वी हैज़ नथिंग टू हाइड। अभी उनको पता है कि पूरा देश है उनका हमारे साथ में, हमारे साथ इतना सपोर्ट है, हमारे साथ ट्विशा के जितने भी चाहने वाले हैं उन सब का जो सपोर्ट है उसके दबाव में आके दे हैव रियलाइज्ड देयर इज़ नो पॉइंट इन हाइडिंग, देयर इज़ नो पॉइंट बीइंग अ कावर्ड, दो ही विल रिमेन अ कावर्ड ऑल हिज लाइफ।
कहीं ना कहीं अब आपको ये लग रहा है कि आपकी एक छोटी एक जीत इसको मानेंगे अपने जो एक इतना बड़ी।
जी आई फील ये छोटी जीत है बट ये एक राइट डायरेक्शन की तरफ है। वी हैव गॉटन द डायरेक्शन, इट इज़ अ वेरी स्मॉल विन, द फाइट इज़ लॉन्ग, हमें एक सही राह पे हम जा चुके हैं, बस ये।
I'm joined in by Brijesh Pandey, input editor, who joins us from the newsroom. Brijesh, a small victory for them, but it is in the right direction, is what the family in fact says. The big demand from the family has been with regard to the second post-mortem, preservation of the body, and for it to be done by AIIMS Delhi. Looks like the court has accepted it, and therefore they have in fact carried out, or rather they are happy that it's going to be carried out. On the other side, the family is still saying that the last rites have to be done by the in-laws because it's their daughter-in-law. That, of course, is happening on one side. But a small victory, and as the brother was saying, in the right direction.
Well, I would disagree with the brother, because I would say it's a huge victory for the simple reason that what all you have heard in the High Court today in Madhya Pradesh is something which should have been done from day one. So, you know, there was an absolute travesty of justice when it came to the fact that how Giribala was given anticipatory bail despite such a big charge which was leveled against it. The fact that the police did not register the FIR at the word go. The fact that the kind of lapses, you know, procedural lapses are very important and crucial for the initial, you know, forensic investigation. The kind of lapses it was there. I mean, it was clear that, you know, that the only reason the way the entire case and investigation was progressing was under severe pressure by Giribala Singh. And this is the reason why, you know, a couple of days back when the family, Twisha family, met the Chief Minister quickly realized that, you know, this is one situation which the government has not to do anything, but it is inviting bad press on them, and they immediately said that we are willing to give it to the CBI for investigation, which was granted today. And also the fact that, that the way things have shaped up, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the family, literally ripped apart the conduct of other people involved in this particular case. He said that the way anticipatory bail was given to Giribala, it was very clear that the court did not apply their mind at all and did not look into the matter, the case file which was presented before it. And also the fact that, that the way the conduct of Samarth Singh, husband of late Twisha, the way he, absconded, and then he started saying that, I will surrender before the designated court. Tushar Mehta said that you have to surrender. If you are really serious about surrendering, you have to surrender before the investigating officer of the case. So, today I would say that everything went Twisha family's way, which has been fighting, waging a lonely battle as far as getting justice for their daughter. And today, Samarth Singh withdrew his anticipatory bail. CBI ordered, a CBI investigation was ordered, and also, a claim which was rejected by lower court. The question of second autopsy. The higher court has said that a second autopsy will be done. A team has been formulated by AIIMS Delhi, which will fly to the designated hospital, and they will conduct, and the body has to be preserved till now. So everything, based on which the Twisha's family was seeking justice, I think they got almost all the relief which they were seeking, and I think it's just a matter of time before Samarth Singh surrenders before the court and then is taken into preventive custody. And all eyes, I would say, Varghese, will be on 25th, when the hearing for Giribala's case is the anticipatory bail which she was granted from the lower court and which is being challenged in the higher court. All eyes will be on that, because the reason why the court did not decide that today is because nobody from Giribala's side, her lawyer, was not present, and that is why a notice has been sent. So I think, in next 3-4 days, we may see custody of both mother and son and by the local police to investigate and, for the CBI to formulate a timeline which will decide how exactly this happened, how Twisha was pushed to a point where she felt that taking her own life was better rather than living with her in-laws.
Also, in fact, there was this particular video that had come in where it showed that Twisha was in fact at a beauty parlor, and she was in fact relaxing at that beauty parlor. She was there for almost 3 hours at that beauty parlor prior to her suicide. And for those 3 hours, she is seen to be quite relaxed there. These are in fact those exclusive CCTV footage shows that Twisha was in fact also receiving a head massage with her feet propped up on the table. This is just 3 hours immediately preceding the suicide, where this particular visual has in fact come up. And Brijesh, if you see, it looks like the person was quite relaxed. It was like a normal routine that the person was engaged in 3 hours before what happened later. So it's crucial that the question would be asked is what happened after she left that beauty parlor? What happened inside her home would be the crucial question if this CCTV camera footage is to be looked at.
See, there are two ways to look at this particular footage which we are seeing on air, Varghese. First one is, as I've been saying since morning, ever since the CBI probe has been ordered by the state, the CBI will, create a timeline which will allow it to figure that, what happened at exactly what time. And that is very, very crucial for the CBI to arrive at a definite conclusion as to what were the real reasons due to which Trisha took her own life and committed suicide. A sample of what she was undergoing is available to us through those WhatsApp chats and the conversations she had with her friends and also with her family. Second is, if a person commits suicide, dies by suicide, you'll have to understand that, he or she is not in a normal state of mind, So for what could look like a very normal, relaxed, getting a hair wash in a beauty salon, for all of us, it could be a completely different gig for someone who's going through the kind of mental agony which she would be, that this could be merely seen as an attempt to relax her mind or give herself some chance before, again, the cloud of all those negative thoughts and the torturous thought again comes back into her mind. So, these are the visuals which says that, which presents what her mindset was at that particular point of time. But the fact that she went on after 3 hours of this and committed suicide clearly, points that She was definitely a tortured soul, and if, as I said, if you go by the sample of WhatsApp messages she has exchanged with her friend and with her family, it's a very clear-cut case that she was undergoing a lot of mental trauma at the hands of her in-laws, her husband, and the kind of insinuation which was made at her character and all, was driving her crazy. So it's this particular CCTV visual can be looked at that way as well.
Also, Brijesh, interestingly enough, after the case was in fact filed, or when the suicide came to light, the missing person has been the husband. He has been missing and he's been pushing his anticipatory bail, and probably now he has no other option but to surrender first because the case has taken its own turn. It was his mother who got the bail first, and then you do see her making those insinuations after getting that bail. But everyone's focus has been like, where is Samarth Singh? Someone who would actually know what actually happened. So what statement comes from Samarth Singh would be actually very crucial in this case.
I would say that, first Samarth Singh will be taken into custody by the CBI because now the case has been handed over to the CBI. And based on the statement given by Samarth Singh, the Central Bureau of Investigation is going to corroborate his statement. I mean, they are not going to take the statement given by Samarth Singh at face value. They are going to corroborate what all he is saying with the material evidence that is placed before the Central Bureau of Investigation by the local police, and also the fact that Varghese, that that if you are innocent, then you should have reported to the police, you should have not absconded. His anticipatory bail was rejected by the lower court, and his bail was supposed to come up today, but the second their lawyer heard that CBI probe has been granted, immediately his lawyer withdrew the anticipatory bail which was there before the High Court. So I don't think that Samarth Singh has any option but to appear before the CBI to join the investigation, and after that, the investigation will take its normal course.
Also, Brijesh, another aspect of this particular case is that, two people who are well, read when it comes to law are involved in this case. So it could be quite a tough task for the CBI as well. Well, Brijesh, if you can hear me, one aspect of this is that you have two people who are well versed with law, who are well versed with the functioning of law, who are accused in this case. That's going to be quite a tough task for the CBI as well.
Well, I don't think that they're being well versed, or the mother being an ex-judge or the husband being a lawyer is going to be much of a problem, because the fact of the matter is that if you look at the sequence of events, the first conduct of Samarth Singh has not been to turn himself to the police or approach the police station and be readily available for any kind of questions they had to ask him. His first reaction was to flee. He has been absconding from day one, and that's a good enough motive on the part of the CBI to treat him as an accused and not an innocent bystander. The second part is that if you look at the fact that the second Giribala Singh got anticipatory bail, but the kind of tirade she went on against her dead daughter-in-law also triggered a massive reaction from people by and large. And people were stunned to see this cold-hearted harangue against her own dead daughter-in-law, attributing all kind of vile attributions she could have made, and also the fact that when the 10-minute long conversation emerged between the two concerned parties, the kind of language that was being used, and all kind of character assassination and insinuation of all kind of filth which was attributed to Twisha by her mother-in-law. So I think this also acted as a big catalyst as far as the kind of popular sentiment which turned against Giribala Singh, saying that that her daughter-in-law has died. She's died in most tragic situation. A lot of back and forth is happening vis-a-vis the kind of accusations and counter accusations are taking place. And in the middle of this, she gives a long statement to media where she's remorseless and she's attributing all kind of motives on the dead daughter-in-law. So I don't think that their being well versed in law is going to act as any kind of safeguard, safety net for them, and also that it would have any kind of will give them any kind of protection vis-a-vis the investigation which is going to be done by the CBI.
Also, when we in fact see the case as a whole, there is interesting part of it is that the new law, the BNS laws are coming into place. In fact, it talks about how if the death is caused within 7 years of marriage, and if there is evidence of dowry death, the stringent provisions of that would be applicable. So probably this case would be a test for the laws that have been newly enacted under the BNS as well, because those provisions are quite stringent.
Well, Varghese, one thing is very clear that the law is.
Have these visuals coming in. Well, Brijesh, this is the lawyer of Giribala, who is said to have lost his school when he was being questioned by the media. This is the moment when he actually lost his school out there, when he was questioned by the media on the case. You see him, in fact, being unable to speak and in a completely angry retort against the reporters there.
Well, I think, frustration is written large on his face, and the way he's reacting, banging on the bonnet of his car and, shouting at media person, when a case, I mean, you look at the viewers can see on the screen, the way he's shouting and shrieking. The fact of the matter is that it's job of the media to ask questions. Nobody's asking him any personal questions. It's a very sensational case. He is the daughter of Giribala Singh, whose anticipatory bail has been challenged in the higher court, and he has to answer. I mean, it's not like, people asking about his personal details or something which is extremely personal to him. Him losing his cool and see the way he's banging the bonnet of his car, I think perhaps asking the driver to come forward so that he can sit and leave the court premises, and the way he's shouting at media person, I think, resignation is written large on his face of the fact that now the case has taken a complete 180-degree turn, vis-a-vis what they had initially thought when Giribala Singh immediately got an anticipatory bail and the son of Giribala Singh, Samarth Singh, has been absconding. So, I mean, it's a bizarre display of behavior by a lawyer of Giribala Singh. There are no two thoughts about that. I think he's taken back by the kind of turn or the legal setbacks the family has suffered today. Both the son had to withdraw his anticipatory bail plea, as well as, Giribala Singh escaping by a whisker, the fact that her lawyer was not present in the court. So his frustration is completely understandable, but I don't think that, this kind of behavior is perfectly all right. As far as coming back to the question which you asked, I think, one thing is very clear, Varghese, that BNS laws make it very, very clear that if a marriage, if something happens to the bride before 7 years of marriage, and if the parents or the family files complaint, then a proper investigation needs to be done. Sadly, in this case, the family had to, first run from pillar to post to make sure that an FIR is registered, and then the kind of botched up post-mortem investigation which was done, the forensic investigation which was done was also not up to that quality or the standard which should have done. The lower court surprisingly turning down the request of the family to go for the second autopsy. Normally, as the High Court did, normally people should have, normally the court should have just accepted this this particular appeal by the family. And what to make matter worse, the Giribala Singh's side also claimed that since she's their daughter-in-law, they wanted the body to be released to their custody so that they can perform last rites. I think, today, Twisha's family, though as unfortunate circumstances as it is, would be extremely happy to see finally that the wheels of justice is finally moving in the direction they would have hoped it would have done right from day one.
Thank you, Brijesh, for in fact joining us with all those details, and let us in fact listen into that particular situation where the lawyer in fact loses his cool completely as he's interacting with the media. He is seen retorting back at them, pushing their mics away, and later getting onto the car and leaving the premises completely away from the area as such. Let's listen into the altercation that happened.
जरूर होनी चाहिए और इस बात की जांच होनी चाहिए। हाँ, जरूर होनी चाहिए। अच्छा अब कौन देगा इसका जवाब? कौन देगा इसका जवाब? मरवाना चाह रहे हैं आप लोगों को? मेरे पैर के ऊपर गाड़ी चढ़ गई, थोड़ी जगह तो दो इंसान को चलने फिरने की। ये कौन सा तरीका है यार आपका? सर आप कहाँ जा रहे हैं? अरे साहब, जो कहना है कह चुके हैं, हमारे कहने से क्या होगा? आप जवाब देने जा रहे हैं? पुलिस स्टेशन जा रहे हैं? सर जवाब देने जा रहे हैं सर। इतने जॉर्ज साहब इतने जवाब दे दीजिए बस कि क्या आप लोग बयान दर्ज कराने जा रहे हैं? सर एटलीस्ट एक बयान कर दिया। अरे माफी मांगो, मेरा पैर आप लोगों के चक्कर में कुचला गया गाड़ी के नीचे। आप लोगों को फर्क नहीं पड़ता क्या? आपके बगल में ड्राइवर। अरे बच्ची की जान सर आप पेड़ के लिए लगे हुए हैं, बंद करिए। आप ये बताइए कि बच्चे की जान से जरूरी नहीं है आपको?